If you watch the Netflix hit K-pop Demon Hunters, you know this place as the final battlefield where Huntrix fought the Saja boys to protect the Hunmun. Surprisingly, to some extent, that is metaphorically accurate in modern Korean history. This tower didn't fight actual demons, but it was in fact fighting an invisible war. Hi everyone, I'm Jun from gamjainseoul, your licensed tour guide here in Seoul. Today, I'm taking you to the N Seoul Tower, or as the locals call it, Namsan Tower. This is arguably the #1 landmark in Seoul. But if you just come here, take a selfie and leave, you're missing 90% of the story. Today, I'm going to show you the real Namsan. We'll uncover the secret military history involving North Korean spies, the dark past of the beautiful pavilion, and of course, I'll show you the best photo spots for your Instagram. Let's get into it! Welcome to the top of Namsan Mountain. Now, before we even look at the tower, let's talk about where we're standing. We're right in the center of Seoul. And I mean literally, geographically, this is the heart. The first thing that hits you is probably these. Thousands, no, millions of padlocks. This is Locks of Love area. The legend is simple. If you write a wish or your initials on a lock, lock it to the fence, and throw away the key, your love is locked forever. This tradition started around the early 2000s. Actually thanks to several mega hit TV shows, and now it's unstoppable. You can buy locks here at the booth, or bring your own. One tip for you, if you bring your own lock, make sure it's unique. Finding yours again in 5 years is harder than you think. Take a selfie right here. The contrast of the colorful rusty locks against the modern city skyline is the classic Namsan shot. Now walk past the locks and you'll see these 5 stone chimneys. These are called Bongsudae. Just like in different ancient countries, Joseon had this system too in the 14th century to let the king know what's happening at the border hundreds of kilometers away. Beacons at the border like Busan would start the signal, and it traveled all the way here to Namsan. The ones you see today were restored in 1993, but the history on this ground is over 600 years old. Right in front of the tower, there's this beautiful pavilion called Palgakjeong. It looks traditional, peaceful, perfect for a rest. But this pavilion has a very turbulent and a dense layer of modern Korean history. Originally in Joseon time, this wasn't a pavilion. This was the site for Guksadang, the most important shamanistic shrine in the Joseon dynasty for hundreds of years. But when Japan colonized Korea, they demolished it to build a Japanese Shinto shrine to force Japanese worship on Koreans. After independence, that was torn down. Then the first Korean president, Lee Seung-man, built a pavilion here called Unamjeong to honor himself. But when he was overthrown in the 1960s, that was torn down too. Finally, in 1968, this current pavilion, Palgakjeong, was built. So when you sit here, you're sitting on layers of erased history from centuries of shamanistic sanctuary, dark colonization, post-war dictatorship to modern peaceful democracy. We finally arrive at the tower, built in 1975. Now it's best known for sightseeing, but when it was first built, it was designed for something totally different. In the 60s and 70s, radio and TV were becoming huge, but there were a few problems. The biggest problem was an invisible attack from North Korea. North Korea was actually wealthier than South Korea at that time. Their radio signals were so strong that people in Seoul could listen to North Korean propaganda broadcasts. And through radio, random numbers were periodically spoken, highly likely used as a communication method for spies. The South Korean government saw this as a major threat. They needed a way to block those signals. So this tower was built as a jamming tower. So while this tower didn't literally fight demons, in a way, I think it did manage to create a Hunmun. It was a shield against invisible waves from the north. Alright, enough with the history, let's go up. Money saving tip here, don't buy your ticket at the counter. Buy it on trip.com or Klook beforehand. It's usually about 10 to 15% cheaper. I'll leave a link in the description. By the way, this is not a sponsored link, just purely sharing a saving tip. The elevator is super fast. Look at the wall inside. It plays a video that makes it feel like you're launching into space. It takes only 30 seconds to reach the top. And we are here at the Observatory. This is the only place in Seoul where you get a true 360-degree view. Looking north, you can see the mountains guarding the Gyeongbokgung Palace and the blue house, Cheongwade, behind the palace. Looking south, that's the Han River flowing through the city. In case you didn't know, this stadium is fake, but the real model of the stadium is in Jamsil, right next to Gangnam. You have to visit the bathroom here. It's called the Sky Toilet. The walls looking out are glass. You're literally doing your business while looking down on the city. It's the most majestic bathroom break of your life. Do not miss it. I recommend coming about an hour before sunset so you can see the day view, the sunset, and the night view. Seoul at night is cyberpunk realness. When you leave, look at the tower's color. It tells today's air quality. Okay, some practical information. Number 1, how do you get there? You have 3 main options. A. Walking. If you want the full nature experience, I suggest walking. There are a few different paths, but the most recommended is to start from Hwaehyun Station and pass through Jamdubong Photo Island. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes. Or, you can start from Myeongdong and take the shortest route. It takes about 30 minutes. It's a workout, but the nature is lovely and it's free. B. Namsan Rotation Bus. Yellow Bus 1A and B. It costs 1400 won per ride and you can use team money. You can take either 1A or 1B, whichever comes first. Check Naver Map or Kakao Map for your route. I recommend catching one at Chungmu-ro Station or Dongguk University Station. It drops you off at the top, but you still have a 5-minute walk up. C. Namsan Cable Car. This is the classic way. Fast and scenic, but it can have long lines on weekends. Plus, this is the most expensive option. Round trip is 15,000 Korean won. Number 2, dining option. There's this Namsan classic option and more trendy option for you. A. Try a famous Namsan pork cutlet for a classic experience. You can visit any restaurant in this alley right here on the map. They're similar to schnitzel or the Japanese pork cutlet. B. Try a restaurant in Haebangchon. This neighborhood is popular with the younger generation these days, and there are plenty of options for trendy restaurants and cafes. I'll share my personal list in the description. Please note, this list includes restaurants, coffee shops, and even cool bookstores. So double check the map to make sure the spot matches what you're looking for. Namsan Tower is more than just a concrete stick on a mountain. It's a survivor of the Cold War, a romantic promise keeper, and a pop culture icon. I hope this tour helped you see it differently. If you enjoyed this virtual tour, please subscribe to gamjainseoul. I have a lot more tips coming for your Korea travel. Stay safe, travel happy, and I'll see you in the next video.